Hi. So I'm reading this book. It's about Buddhism. It's fast stuff. Anyway, it talks about the Buddha transcended the received wisdom of Vedic India, rejected the notion of an everlasting soul, and made the radical observation that what is considered self is not a thing, but a process, and a process that is ever changing. Suffering results not from living inside of a body, a belief that presumes a duality between body and mind, but from being attached to it. That is, suffering results from trying to hold on to a solid sense of self when everything is always changing, trying to cling to fleeting pleasures, and trying to push away unpleasant experiences. That would be resistance. Both are resistance. So trying to push away from unpleasant experiences is resisting, and trying to hold on to a solid sense of self is resistance to change when change is the only constant. So both are resistance. And I channeled a long time ago, resistance is where all pain comes from, but it's attachment that leads to resistance. Okay. He succeeded in discovering a method that could bring an end to suffering, which could be reliably reproduced by anyone interested in trying. The method was not about achieving high or rarefied states of consciousness, but seeing the nature of reality clearly. That clear seeing is what leads to liberation. Okay, so clear seeing is what leads to liberation. So what I'm seeing, people hurting themselves, people being, they're trying to fight for other people to see things the way they see things. And just like this book says, that the Buddha said, it's not about achieving higher rarefied states of consciousness, but seeing the nature of reality clearly. That clear seeing is what leads to liberation. So people, this is trying is not doing. So people think that they're seeing things clearly, and then they want everybody else to buy that same what they see. The issue is that they have such an attachment to their own ego, and they're in their own ego, and they're coming from ego. There's so much ego that they're wrong about what they see, because they're not seeing that the clear reality. So if they had no ego at all, if they had no ego at all, what they would see is individual, people having all different experiences, coming to the table with completely different lenses that they're looking through. And if they could see reality as clearly as they think they do, they would see that these other people have completely different realities. But instead, they're looking through all these lenses that they don't think are lenses. And then their ego is describing reality for them as it's looking through not just lenses of this life, but also of past lives. And then their own ego is giving them a version of reality where they're a hero, they're a victim, they're a martyr. And then they're taking that as the real reality, as if they weren't looking through any lenses and they had zero ego. And then they want everyone to buy into their version of reality now. And then, which should even be a further validation that it is ego, it causes them pain when other people aren't buying their version of reality. When that, of course, is ego. Because Because the more enlightened you become, or whatever, the more spiritual you become, the more you are in alignment with your spirit, and you have a spirit directed existence, the less lenses you have, the more you can see all these other people's lenses. And as you see other people's lenses, you have a clear understanding that their reality is not the same as anyone else's, because there's too many lenses. So as you enlighten yourself, you develop compassion. Compassion is love plus understanding, because you're better able to love these other beings. As you get rid of your own lenses, you are a witness to other people's lenses. And then you can love them and understand that their reality is completely different. And then you can allow them their lenses until they're ready to get rid of their lenses. And then that's why blessing all, forgiving all, just forgiving. No, it frees me up if I can just forgive. Forgiving all, including myself, in all directions of time. Respecting the free will choices of all, including myself, in all directions of time, and just loving them. That dissolves, removes, lightens, thins the lenses that I look through. And as I do that, as I dissolve my own lenses, I become aware of other people's lenses. So I can watch these videos on, whatever people have turned into a religion. So whether it's religion, or it's, so like the transgenderism, I only made one video so far. I'm going to make more transgenderism videos. But those people are living in their existence. And then they demand basically that everybody see them and the world the way they want. And that's going to solidify your lenses rather than remove them. Anyway, hope that makes sense. So as I enlighten myself, and as I bless, forgive, respect, free will, choice, and love, I dissolve the lenses that I look through. And as I dissolve those lenses, I start to become aware of all these other people walking around with their lenses. And then I can allow them their reality, because it makes perfect sense that they have them. Whether it's, I'm a healer, so it's easier for me, I think, than anybody, because I have to show people, because past lives come up. Like the young girl who, technically was a murderer, but if you lived through it and you witnessed it, you would understand what she was going through. And then I had another healing client who witnessed a past life where her head was chopped off. So when you start to become aware of like all this stuff that people are carrying around, you're like, they're just carrying crap around. It creates a lens. They're looking through these lenses, and that's it. I gotta go. So as your lenses go away, you become more aware of other people's lenses, and then you're able to allow those people their lenses, their version of reality, understanding and loving them anyway, understanding that they just have a completely different view of reality. They're living in a completely different reality, and then that's okay. Love you.